Here's my note card, front and back. Hopefully you can see that. I have my mom as my audience in the background there. So I'm gonna time myself on my watch and I'm gonna start now. Hello everyone, I'm Angel Cervantes. I wanted to ask a question. When was the last time any of you thought about taking the bus? I think most of you are probably thinking about when you took the big yellow bus to school in the morning, and then when you turned 16 you got your driver's license and then you never thought about the bus again. Public transportation has fallen, or the reliance on public transportation has fallen quite a bit in the last couple of decades in favor of personal vehicles. But public transportation might have a lot of benefits that should be looked into a little bit more, such as its ability to help economic efficiency, social connectivity, and the ability to preserve the environment. Public transit, first I'm going to talk about how public transit plays a crucial role in fostering economic development. Owning a car is expensive. Everyone who owns a car has to pay for fuel, pay for parking if it's a city, or pay for inevitable maintenance, as cars don't last forever. Public transportation would help alleviate those downsides of owning a personal vehicle. Public transportation, or the American Public Transportation Association, estimated that $11.7 billion would be saved annually if more reliance was put on public transportation, and that number would just go on as transportation or public transit became more popular. This would also allow people to have more disposable income and more money going into communities and businesses, and just fostering community economy or local economies. It would also, reliance on public transportation would also help alleviate traffic congestion. Traffic congestion puts bad emissions into the air and also just fosters a lack of efficiency. People show up to work late, or they show up to school late. This also affects supply chain, where goods and services can take a lot longer to reach businesses or where they need to go, and in turn reach the public a lot slower. Public transportation would take, or reliance on it would take cars off the road. Let's say a bus has 30 seats, and 30 people get on that bus, then that's 30 cars off the road, and more buses after that just adds up. Next, I'm going to talk about how it fosters social connectivity. It plays a crucial role in providing a space for individuals of all backgrounds. So the United States has a problem where we have created an infrastructure based around owning a personal vehicle. Pretty much our cities are designed to be navigated by cars and personal vehicles. This creates a problem for people of a lower socioeconomic status, people who cannot afford to own a car, who cannot get a driver's license. It is harder for them to access jobs, education, health services, any other type of venue such as that. Relying more on public transportation but why we have buses, we have trains, why is that? Because they're not pushed as much, and with, again, problems like traffic congestion, that affects how buses move and how trains operate, and it gives those people a harder time, even if buses and public transportation is more affordable and accessible. It also just creates a nice environment. You get to see the people that are in your community from all kinds of different walks of life. It creates a more interconnected society and creates a form of community where people know what the people around them look like, what they are going through, and they can see that they aren't the only people on the planet, and just creates a better and more harmonious society, if you will. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the probably most important part, or how public transportation would help alleviate a lot of carbon emissions and things pollution to the air. The U.S. Department of Energy estimates that personal vehicles release about 1.5 billion tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere each year. They've tried multiple things like promoting the use of electric cars and cars that use a cleaner gas or a cleaner fuel, but that just hasn't been working. They estimate that the DOE, Department of Energy, estimates that using public transportation would greatly reduce pollution and would be the biggest factor into reducing of pollution and carbon emissions. What does that do? Well, that benefits everyone. Having cleaner air to breathe makes us healthier, and it makes the world healthier, as in the animals, the plants, everything that keeps the world spinning. It also reduces the demand for fossil fuels. Fossil fuels have become a big problem because they're running not any time in the near future, but they're, with how much people are on the planet now, the use of fossil fuels has never been this much. And limiting the use of fossil fuels and bringing down how much we are using fossil fuels will help with the longevity of our planet and make us just last longer as a people. So, as I explained, the reliance on public transportation would help with economic efficiency, social connectivity, and the ability to preserve the environment. It's a hard thing because how our culture and how our society is built around driving cars. But all it starts is with you taking the bus one day. And with places like here, where in Oklahoma, it's not that easy. But public transportation is the way to help build back our world and help keep it healthy. So I'm going to end with a quote by comedian Chris Gethard. He said that public transportation is like a magnifying glass that shows your civilization up close. I thank you all for listening. Have a good night. I finished at 7 minutes and 10 seconds.